In this video, we're going to be talking about Mother Nature in Sonic Prime. So imagine a world where everyone is half human, half plant, and forced to live in kingdoms. Well, this has nothing to do with Sonic Prime, but has everything to do with my brother's free-to-read webcomic, Mother Earth. It has epic fight scenes and quirky dialogue. The first chapter is out now, and a full comic dub is currently in the works.
For this expedition,
whatever.
I think exhibition sounds cooler.
So if this sounds interesting to you, head on over to readmotherearth.com. The link is also in the description below. Now let's get right into the video. If there's one thing Sonic Prime did right, it was how they portrayed this iconic cast of characters. Specifically, what I love about Sonic Prime's approach was the deconstruction of the cast, taking familiar traits and then flipping them on their head so as to shine a new light on the character. So in this video, we're going to look at how the deconstruction of one individual gives us a new level of insight into the character and the themes of the overall story. As you could probably guess from the thumbnail, I'm going to be talking about Amy Rose, and more specifically, Thorn Rose, the jungle variant of Amy. Like how 9 is to Tails, Thorn Rose is a brilliant inversion of Amy. Thorn takes Amy's strengths and distorts them to the point where the character becomes something frightening. When Sonic finds himself in the Boscage Maze, he meets his friends who now identify as scavengers. Forced to live above the canopy, they inhabit a desolate jungle where food is scarce. The only way to find a meal is to dive into the forest floor and risk encountering the monster, Thorn Rose.
Amy? You're the monster? Oh, those guys up above have really got it wrong.
So how did Thorn Rose become a monster? Well, monsters are often born out of good intentions, and Thorn fits into this description. Before the famine, everyone lived in harmony with each other and the forest, or the green as Thorn calls it. But slowly, Rouge and the rest continued to plunder and abuse the resources of the green. Seeing this destruction before her eyes, Thorn was compelled to drive out the abusers from the forest, forcing them to live above the canopy. Thorn values harmony just like Amy, but Thorn's version of harmony is disjointed. She's willing to push her friends away for the sake of protecting the forest. The whole jungle dimension itself is indicative of Amy's love for nature.
the forest is the most beautiful place on Earth.
This love of nature and her friends is united by this palm tree. It acts as a symbol of Amy's values. This tree is very important to understanding the characters and the deeper themes of the story. So if you want to learn more about the palm tree, click the link in the top right corner. When watching the Thorn Rose episodes, I couldn't help but think about Thorn as a symbol of Mother Nature. In various ancient mythologies, Mother Nature is often portrayed as the personification of the natural world. This kind of portrayal focuses on the life-giving and nurturing aspects of nature, traits that are usually associated with being a mother. In Sonic Prime, Amy is very nurturing to her friends and acts as a sort of maternal figure for the group. And however skewed it may be, I do think we see glimpses of these qualities in Thorn. Whether intentional or not, the jungle episodes of Sonic Prime seem to reflect the Greek myth of Persephone and Demeter. According to my good friend Wikipedia, Persephone is a vegetation goddess. This means that her presence, or lack of it, affects the growth of crops. Persephone's mom, Demeter, is the goddess of harvest, and like her daughter, influences the agriculture of the earth. In the Greek myth, Hades, the king of the underworld, kidnaps Persephone and forces her to become his queen. Demeter was so anguished by the kidnapping of her daughter that, as a result, crops would no longer grow on Earth. Seeing what transpired, Zeus hops in and told Hades,
"Bro, you gotta bring Persephone back to her mom."
and Hades was like,
I bet.
So Persephone gets to go back and be with her mom, but the catch is, she has to return to the underworld for part of the year. Apparently, Persephone ate some pomegranate seeds from Hades, and there's a law in the underworld that if you eat the pomegranate seeds, you're bound to the underworld. I don't know, but this story is meant to illustrate the seasons of the year. When Persephone goes to the underworld, Demeter gets sad and crops will cease growing, symbolizing the winter season. But when Persephone can leave the underworld and gets back with her mom, Demeter's happy and there's a new season of growth and life. So think of spring and summertime. Again, I say all this and I want to warn you guys that I'm not a Greek mythology scholar. I'm just a guy that researches stuff on Wikipedia. So let me know if I got any details wrong. But if you've been paying attention, you can see some of the similarities between Thorn's story with this Greek myth. In the jungle episodes, Thorn forced herself to remain underneath the forest canopy. With the trees so tall and the ground so low, the forest floor looks like a dark pit, an underworld absent of light. With Thorn binding herself to the forest floor, a period of famine appeared throughout the land. But this famine is different.
The Boscage Maze has supersized plants that are suffocating the life out of this place, thanks to the monster.
Monster? Yeah, it does look extra healthy, doesn't it?
Extra healthy isn't how I'd put it. The trees are so big they're squeezing us out, and the monster won't let us touch whatever food is left.
Thorn's story differs from Persephone's story because the food shortage isn't from the lack of growth, but from too much of it. Like cancer to the body, the overgrowth of plants is suffocating the life out of the Boscage Maze. Thorn's protective nature has grown to the point where it's become unhealthy. She reminds me of the overly protective mother, the kind of mom where the desire to protect her kids becomes a detriment to their well-being. Like a mom, Thorn wants to protect the green from those harming it, the abusers being her friends. Even Thorn's name is reflective of her protective nature. Ask yourself this question: what's the purpose of a thorn? Well, besides being a pun for the name Rose, or the writers just playing with the whole nature motif in these episodes, the purpose of a thorn is to protect. It deters animals from eating the plant the thorn grows out of. Thorn is living up to her name by stopping her friends, the literal animals, from eating the plants of the forest. We see later on in the episodes that Thorn uses the power of nature to grow unnatural trees. The tree, the symbol that represents friendship, has now been weaponized to push Thorn's friends away and has left her alone in the dark. Sonic had to remind Thorn about the importance of finding harmony with her friends and nature. Damage had been done to both the forest and Thorn's relationships. It's up to all of them to mend what's been broken, and it's only through understanding one another can light enter and give hope for a new season of prosperity. So what do you guys think of my interpretation of Thorn? Do you agree, or am I just way in over my head? That's usually the answer. I'd love to hear thoughts in the comments below. Or if you want to continue the discussion, I also have a Discord server, and the link to join is in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, it helps support the channel. Subscribe and hit that bell icon if you want to see more videos like these. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, peace out.